G'day, my name's BJ Barlin, here to talk to you a bit about the Enviroview product by Envirovision. Proudly Australian owned. Here today to tell you a little bit more about it, what it does and how it fits into different installations. We've made the product so that it is available to be put into a commercial situation all the way down to maybe a domestic application. It's a very flexible unit that will monitor water, gas and electricity, not only with electricity by your main circuits, but it has the capability to monitor all your single circuits and your three-phase circuits. So if you have a look basically here with a unit here we have in the office, monitors your mains, monitors your loads, and you can see on the right hand side here that it breaks that down for our daily view and what we've used today. So you can see 56 or 53%, 26% for our lights. The unit also, as I said, can monitor your water and your gas by what they call pulse inputs. And it's quite a powerful unit. We can also monitor solar, what actual solar you've exported, what you've actually generated, and how much of a percentage of your mains has that been. Getting into the unit itself, what it's about. This here is the brain of the unit, what we call the EV web. This unit itself has a memory card or a USB card available to store up to 5 to 8 years of data. Has a network interface and what we call an Ethernet interface, and this has a web server built on board, so it's like a microcomputer. It serves all your information up to the internet. Down here is your current inputs. So your current inputs are basically CT sensors that go around your cables and monitor how much electricity has been drawn through the cables. Pulse inputs, this is where we can have up to 4 pulse inputs and allows us then to monitor water, gas and maybe 2 other devices. If I go into here and show you what the CT is about. So if you have a look at the CTs are like this. Close, put around the cable, and normally the cable runs through the centre of the hole like that. So there you have how the CT works, and that actually clips around all of your circuits and your cables. We can monitor, as I said, up to 180 single phase circuits or 63 phase circuits. We recently did the aquatic centre at Taree, and what we did was monitor all their pumps. So we could see whether their pumps were being efficient, whether they weren't efficient, and exactly what was happening in there. This is where the unit sat inside the switchboard. You see the cables come down and the CTs clipped around the mains there when we needed to also see how much their air conditioning was using. So the unit can be quite flexible, and the unit can also, as you can see here, we've got 3 CT6s. So we're monitoring in this installation was 4 3-phase pumps and 6 single circuits. What we've also got there is the web sits in a different part of the installation, and we're monitoring 120 circuits all up in this installation. What we learnt straight away was that some of their pumps were a lot more inefficient than others, and then they can look at variable speed drives and so forth, and then also look at their lighting and see how much their high bays were costing and so forth to run. So the unit is very powerful. I'll quickly run through what the buttons all here are and what they do. So starting from here, if you want to have a look at your view totals, the view totals, what it does is actually goes into a real live recording of what's happening at this current point in time. So sitting here in the office, 57% is the power, 34% light and 9% AC. Every 10 seconds the unit will come up like a heartbeat monitor and show you when things are being turned on and off. So things are pretty stable here at the office, and this is really handy when you want to see if you've got a pump that might be actually running a lot harder than what it should be, or you might have even to the point where we've noticed when customers have their ovens on and off, you can see the actual oven element switching on and off. And that's what view circuits is. View circuits also allows you then, you can see up the top here, what you're actually using. The reason these are broken up is that, as I explained, the unit can do a great deal of circuits. So that can make the unit actually be quite hard to read. So we've we've broken it up into what's called groups, and the lights are broken up into a set of groups. So we've got a few different light circuits here. You can see workshop light, level 1 lights, high bay lights. I can go back into the power totals and then also see how many different power circuits we've got. So this is really handy when you do want to monitor quite a few different circuits. If I go back to the dashboard, you can actually view what we're seeing here on a daily, monthly or yearly basis. So you can see here there's a little hump here which was the hot water service. It must have kicked in about 4 AM. Looks like our staff got here at about 6 AM and things started to happen then. So you can see right there the light switched on, the power switched on, there's our totals. You can see that also the aircon's been switched on. If I have a look at the monthly view, it then takes me to and shows me, obviously the staff aren't here on the weekends, it must have been a long weekend, and it shows us the patterns of electricity that we are using. If we have a look at a yearly view, it then shows us what our electricity is doing and where we've run. So January was quite high, we've started to bring it down in Feb, March, April and May seem to be fairly well constant. If you have a look here, when I click on year, it told me how much my electricity has cost for the year, how many kilowatt hours, how much water I've used, how much gas I've used, and how much CO2 I've put into the atmosphere. If I click on the daily view, it actually tells me then how much the cost is for that day. So in total we've spent $3 today. I can go into a history view, and this is where it becomes quite powerful, and I can see on a certain date exactly what I've used. So in March, say March the 7th, I can get the data, and on that day I can see that I used $8.22. So it's quite handy to find out. Then if I want, I can actually analyse those totals and get the data for that day, as you can see here, for the hot water, for example. So why don't I see on the 13th of the 6th exactly what I've got. So you can see I've used 17 cents on that day for hot water, and here's where you can see the hot water service is switching on and off to keep the thermostat, to keep the water warm. So really handy tool for that type of interrogation. Go back to the dashboard. You can see here also that it's broken up in different colours, and as I explained in the pie chart shows you on the side. You can also break up your day and analyse your totals for your day with this tab as well. So if I'm looking for the day, I want to see what the hot water's cost me today so far. I can see when it's turned on and off, and I can see how much it's cost me. If I want to see how much the air conditioner's cost me for the day, you can see when they've switched on and off and how much it's cost me. As you can see, the unit's fairly powerful and very flexible, so we're quite proud of it, and stay tuned. We'll also have some more technical demonstrations and videos. Thanks. See you.